hide your kids, lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so don't listen to a damn thing Chad says on this podcast. What's up, boys and girls? You're listening to the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Mind Freak Cheeseman.
And I'm Chad, not hungover. Believe that shit. Sowash. Yeah.
And on this week's show, Paradox gets a new head, Finnegan begin again, and Veritone Tony has done it again. Let's do this.
Feels good.
Hospitality is the heart of our society. It brings people together to share great food, drinks, and experiences. But successfully managing a restaurant or hotel is no easy feat. That's where Harry comes in. Harry is the frontline employee experience platform that helps you build, manage, and engage great teams. With Harry, managers can easily find and hire top talent, manage timekeeping, and communicate with employees at any time from any place. Candidates and team members can quickly and efficiently apply for jobs, swap shifts, and access important information entirely from their mobile devices. And Harry's robust employee engagement tools make team members feel more connected than ever. With Harry, as an owner or operator, you get a bird's eye view of your business, from turnover cost, labor cost, employee sentiment, compliance risk, and team performance. Run your business better by understanding the power of your people. Because when your team is the heart of your business, Harry is the heartbeat. See how it transforms your business.
All right, Chad. Yeah. We are live from Las Vegas at the Transform Conference.
Woohoo!
I'm in day 5. You're in day 2, I believe.
Yes.
I'm probably showing a little more wear and tear.
I hope so.
Point.
Yes.
But yes, good times last night.
Amazing time.
I had the giggles apparently.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, we're just gonna go right into this. So, I give Cheeseman a 5 milligram gummy. Yes, just 5.
Lies.
At
least 20 was in that thing.
And shout out to Work Vivo because we went to the Sphere. They hooked us up with suite tickets, so we're in the suite. Joel is right into his gummy, and at the end of it, I mean, first and foremost, it was an amazing experience. Thank you, Work Vivo. They're owned by Zoom.
Yes.
Right, which you forgot because you were on a gummy.
Yep.
The CIO of Zoom.
Yeah.
The CIO of Zoom comes in. Amazing dude. He starts talking. He starts talking about different people that they're working with, and he says, "Oh yeah, and then we also had an event with Tony Robbins, and you had and you said what?
Did you say Kenny Loggins?" And
I said danger zone. I said, and then you couldn't stop laughing.
Oh my God, check it. You're in the danger zone, my man, and I just lost it.
You were so high. It was hilarious. But the event, how was it? Because you were high, and that could set some people into vertigo.
Yeah, think
right?
IMAX on steroids.
Oh, it's
if you're
amazing.
watching something.
I fucking love it.
You get air in your face. The chairs shake when you're falling into a pit or something.
Yes.
Mind blowing. I mean, that part was really cool. I was transfixed.
Yeah.
And then something snapped. And I could not stop laughing, man. That was awesome.
And then we went to go see a friend and videographer.
Yeah.
Ben,
comedy.
Stand-up comedy. That was a good time. That was a great time. Ben did a good job. He did a really good job.
I am figuring out that I'm becoming a show guy, Chad.
Yeah.
If we're
a
extending
show
this to
guy.
Vegas.
Okay.
So I made fun of the old people way back that I'd go to a conference, and of course I'm partying at whatever, bare naked ladies in a pool at a hotel or whatever. And the old people be like, "Oh, we're gonna do a nice dinner, go see a show."
Yeah.
And I thought that was so
what is
lame.
this? Yeah.
Now I'm into it. I'm loving it. First night I did a Cirque du Soleil show. I think the Love Show with Plum kind of got
last
me,
time. Oh, that was amazing.
Got me intrigued, and we did the Mind Freak
Oh, did you?
Chris Angel.
Oh,
we did
damn.
his thing. Carrot Top was in the audience.
Oh, Jesus.
So every show has the chance to really, drop an unexpected pleasure.
Yeah.
Mine just happened to be Carrot Top.
Yes. Well, the first night that we were here, I was sucking because we were up early. We traveled.
Yep.
Jobiqo had this amazing event where it was they took over a piece of the buffet here in the Wynn, and you're like, it's a buffet. Motherfucker, that is the buffet. There's not a, but that is, if you're going to any buffet,
Yep.
that's the buffet. I saw a guy sitting over by the crab legs. He should have just taken the plate of crab legs. Because, go figure, it's all you can eat. And that's all he was eating. High quality.
I've been known to like a good meal or two, Chad.
I do. Usually
and even
Chipotle.
I was overwhelmed with the magnitude of the Wynn buffet.
Yes.
So my hat's off to Mr. Crab Legs, who could not stop consuming said crab legs, because that is a real athlete, my friend. Not all heroes wear capes.
No. And thanks again to Omar Jobiqo. That was amazing. Both of which we're advisors for. But then, we're here in Transform. I have never been to a show at the Wynn before. I don't believe. Have you? My first show at the Wynn.
I've never been at the Wynn before.
This is up. That's because they wouldn't let you in.
Yeah,
this is upscale. You had a badge this time, so they let you in.
Yeah.
This is upscale. And it was funny because Julie on day one said every show should be at the Wynn.
She did say that. It's all right as a show play. As a hotel, I'm sure it's great. It's all right as a show conference place.
I like it.
Right.
I do like Caesars Forum, where
Caesars,
Unleashed does
Mandalay
their
Bay
thing
does
too.
a good job too.
Yeah. So Vegas is a good spot. Coming here 3 times a year, probably not what I want to do, but we'll make do. We were on stage yesterday. Had 3 amazing practitioners.
How do we get them?
That show.
How do we get them?
Samara and Transform got us some amazing practitioners. We are going to have that actually go out as a podcast on its own.
Yep.
But it was an amazing time. We got an opportunity to talk brass tacks with 3 practitioners on stage, and they weren't afraid, which I love.
Nope. A great diverse. We had Panda.
Yep.
Which is your Panda Express, your fast Chinese food. We had Box Tech Company, storage, etc. That was great. And then Hungry Root, kind of your hippie trippy health food in a box coming to your house.
Yes.
So we got a really great different views,
diverse
AI, DI, automation.
Loved it.
We tried to tackle as many issues as we could in 45 minutes. And we'll be releasing that soon. But that was fantastic.
Yeah. You can't. Whenever you get on stage, obviously we bring on beer. It's the end of the day. We've got that happening. We both thought at the end of the day, we're like, nobody's going to be here. We're going to be talking to an empty crowd. That fucking place was full.
It was full.
It was full.
It wasn't the biggest of areas. We weren't on. If you've been to these things,
we're
there's
in the
the keynotes.
hall.
There's the keynote with like 1,000 chairs.
Yeah.
We weren't that, but we were competing with liquor. Okay, we were competing with all the exhibitors here, and that's not always easy. So I think that we held our own.
Yes.
We opened it up with little Guns N' Roses. Welcome to the Jungle. Kind of set the mood. Set the mood. You poured beer on a lot of the audience members, from what I remember. Had a little spillage.
Had a beer.
Spillage
I needed
on
a
stage,
sippy cup. I need a sippy cup.
But had a good time. So my question to you is: we go to a lot of shows. Where is Transform in the big scheme of things for you? Where do they compete? How are they different? Where are they better? Your take.
Well, I like to say that first. I don't like to stack rank because they're so different. The shows are so different. It's kind of like Wreckfest is so much different than Unleash, and Transform so different than Wreckfest, right?
Yep.
There are a lot. I'm going to say probably 70% of the vendors that are here I have never fucking heard of.
Interesting.
At least 70%.
Interesting.
Bulk. So they're obviously bringing in an entirely different, crop of startups. So again, I don't see this as better, worse, or anything. I see it as different, and especially when we're talking about the audience that they're hitting.
Yep.
A lot of high-level practitioners. I actually had SVP of Pepsi stop me today, ask me when she can be on the podcast. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yes. So,
Nice.
good stuff. Really good stuff.
Good stuff. I think you mentioned Unleash, and we'll be at Unleash in Vegas again in May.
Yes.
They seem to be really competitive with HR tech, whether that's a mental thing or just by default. But
I don't think they are. I don't think they are.
I mean, HR tech is an industry integration.
It's a vendor sausage fest.
Don't go to HR tech thinking you're going to fill the funnel and make a lot of sales.
It's,
to me,
strategic alliances.
This felt more Unleashy to me, more competitive.
Okay.
So if I'm Unleash, I'm looking at Transform a little more than HR Tech as an up and coming competitor.
Yeah,
we know ERE is trying to sort of reimagine their conferences.
They have investors who have booths here.
Sure.
Right? Yeah, I mean, and we should see more of that.
And on stage as well.
Yes, we should see more of that. And I know that Unleash is really hitting the investor and startup side of the house hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think they're taking it at different angles, which is cool.
Yes.
Because if they try to be the same, I mean, then it gets boring and, kind of you hear the Charlie Brown womp, womp, womp.
Yep. And likewise, Wreckfests, their secret sauce is just nobody's like us.
No.
Yeah, so hats off.
Nobody is
Hats off
Wreckfest.
to them.
Yes.
Hats off to them. All right, let's make a quick do of our announcements.
Let's do that
because we are live as typical.
Ben from BrightHire.
We're gonna hold off on Ben Sesser, CEO of BrightHire, just walked by. He's looking good. He's in all black. We're recording the live show. So
get out of here, Ben. We're doing
famous.
stuff. Jesus.
By the way, thanks to BrightHire, one of our newest sponsors,
Firing Squad.
That's
you guys
right.
love Firing Squad.
You love Teddy. You love Teddy. You love Firing Squad.
Now
you'll learn to love
our favorite
BrightHire.
country music star, Teddy Chestnut.
Teddy Chestnut. And food competitor.
Oh, yeah.
Food eating competitor. So we'll get to birthdays
next week.
Probably not next week. We'll be in
that's right, Amsterdam.
We'll be in Europe. So it might be a couple weeks. But shout out to Plum, our sponsor for the birthdays. Shout out to Tex Colonel, sponsoring bourbon, selection by both of us.
Woo!
Aspen Tech Labs for beer. And really excited, new T-shirt design just approved. We'll be printing those up soon.
Oh, you're going to see it.
Aaron, ERIN, is our new sponsor for T-shirts. Very excited about that. Look for that. If you haven't signed up at chadcheese.com/free, you're not getting a T-shirt. You're not getting bourbon. You're not getting beer. You'll probably be the most avoided person at your next social event.
Yeah.
So, you got to go to chadcheese.com. Click that free link.
Yeah.
Put in your information, and who knows, a T-shirt and some booze just might show up at your door.
And you said Tex Colonel. We're going to see our friend Gerard Mulder. Gerard Mulder. In Amsterdam next week as we're going to the e-recruitment Congress. Get ready. We expect Belgian beer, Belgian chalk, all of it, my friend. I can't wait, dude.
Don't throw any Heineken or Amstel Light at my ass.
Excited.
Don't even think about it. Gerard, love Gerard. He's a gentleman technologist, and he always drops wisdom, and I feel much smarter at the end of it. So if you are going to be in Amsterdam or you're going to House of HR, make sure you say hi to us. Another quick announcement. We just dropped our data podcast.
Yep.
Toby Dayton, CEO of LinkUp, gets information that the Wall Street guys are accessing. Like people are making money with this information.
He is the insider of insiders.
And you, lucky listener, no cost whatsoever, get to know the wisdom and the data of Toby Dayton. So you can only view this on YouTube. Go to youtube.com/@ChadCheese. Make sure you subscribe, share, like, and watch.
Do it all.
And watch.
He's sharing charts and graphs and all that other fun stuff that really don't translate well on the audio side. So go to YouTube, look for Chad and Cheese Podcast, and listen.
Yeah, and you don't have to be a genius. We dumb it down for the Chad and Cheese folks.
It's got
mainly for us.
Mainly for us.
But you'll understand it. You'll digest it. You'll consume it.
Yes.
You'll love it. Your boss will think you're great and smart, just like Chad and Cheese. Shall we get to topics?
That's right, baby.
All right. Big news out of the desert this week. Paradox has promoted Friend of the show, Adam Gotson, to CEO with founder Aaron Matos, becoming executive chairman. Gotson, previously president and chief product officer, joined in 2020 and led the company's initial growth. As CEO, he aims to continue the company's culture of client care and innovation. Matos will serve as advisor and mentor to the executive team, focusing on strategic vision and product development. Big news, Chad. Your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's funny because we got this news early because, we've got friends.
We got friends.
Yeah. Adam's a close friend. Jay-Z, amazing. And again, we talked about this 4 years ago. Jay-Z went to Paradox first, I believe, and then Adam did 4 years ago.
Yep.
And I said on the show, Aaron and I think I can say we were both at one time control freaks. Not that I'm not a control freak now, but we were both control freaks. And I said that if Aaron gets the fuck out of the way and lets these guys run, this company will explode. And they threw that at me this week.
Sure.
But Aaron, I didn't say make him CEO, but it's not a bad thing. I think this is amazing. Paradox, it's funny because they are the alpha in this space.
The apex predator, I've been known to call them.
They are the alpha. They have taken a chatbot to applicant tracking system. I mean, all the way through the system. And as we talk about how do you own this market, you got to go down funnel, right?
Yep.
We talked about even the job boards. They need to go more down funnel. If they want to be relevant moving on, you got to have data. Why? This whole AI thing is a thing. Paradox understands that. They understood that. They know data means everything. And then you got a guy who he is best in class, Adam Gotson, in the market. He was with RPO CLO for years, right? Doing this exact same thing. Now he has the cash, not just duct tape and baling wire that he had at CLO to build products. He has the firepower to go build whatever he wanted to as the chief product officer.
Yep.
Now he's the fucking CEO. And then you've got Aaron still there as chairman. So I'm excited. I'm biased as fuck, don't get me wrong. But I am excited to see where these guys go.
Yeah, it is a two-way street with those guys.
Yes.
I think the love goes both ways from that. And we will be in Phoenix soon. So hopefully, I don't know if we'll be his first interview as CEO, but I'll take that gig if he wants to give it to us. So I have a special relationship with them. In the 2000s, I sold what was then a blog, SEO, mobile kind of mix up of a company. Worked for Aaron directly for a couple years. I will echo your control freak comment, although I think the years, having children, life just sort of has mellowed Aaron a little bit.
It does that to us.
But a leopard doesn't change its stripes usually. So I got 3 takeaways from this. Number one is Paradox must be doing really well. Back to the control freak thing. Aaron does not let go unless it's going really, really well, and he feels like I can step away.
Adam hasn't been president for long either.
No. So as much as we know that Paradox is doing very well, my guess is it's even doing better than we think or we talk about. So that's my first takeaway. Paradox must be crushing it for Aaron to make this move. Number 2, Aaron highlights the importance of CEO as your head of TA. And I don't say that lightly. He's a fantastic recruiter. He has built a team that is frankly probably unmatched in our little world of work here.
Yeah.
And most CEOs do not focus on the recruitment side of it like Aaron has and will continue to do so. So from his board of directors, his investors, his leadership team, probably middle management and beyond, he's had a hand in that. He's had a directive in some of those.
Yeah.
He's probably gone all out to get Adam on board, to
Oh,
get
yeah.
Jay-Z on board,
Oh, yeah.
to get these guys on board. So he exemplifies the importance of CEO as head of talent.
Yeah.
CEO needs to be recruiting. And my third takeaway is that he ain't going away.
Oh, no.
He ain't going away.
I ain't leaving.
Yeah, he ain't leaving. This is Wolf of Wall
I
Street,
ain't
baby.
leaving.
Yeah, you got it. They need to. Anyway, it will probably enable him to focus more on. He does acquisitions incredibly well. And we've talked about
He's a smart dude.
consolidation.
Yeah.
We've talked about TJ Maxx clearance racks. He is going to have time to focus on these acquisitions and start knocking them down one by one and just sort of give them to the team to run. So, 1, Paradox is crushing it. 2, CEO needs to be your head of recruiting. And number 3, Aaron's not going anywhere, and he'll be unleashed on parts that have been, less of a focus.
It's
and
scary.
That's kind of scary.
It's going to be scary.
That's a little scary.
So there's, and I think we're missing one piece that I want to hit. We've hit before in the past. Aaron has one superpower that most CEOs in this space do not.
Yep.
His experience and his failure. And failure is learning, right? And I'm going to tell you, right, knowing how determined Aaron is, right? I don't know as well as you do, but I'm sure that you agree. How determined that dude is, he wanted to come out as the Phoenix with this Paradox, right?
Yeah.
With Paradox and Olivia. And he has. And he really has. And that's one of the things that we have to understand is that, failure is a learning experience, and you have to pivot off that, and you have to become better. And I just think he has. I really think he has. To Adam's point of being, head of TA, there's nobody in the industry that's more likable than that guy. Maybe Jay-Z, right? The 2 most likable guys in the industry are leaders in that organization. Amazing.
Yes, and don't discount Aaron going from what was arguably a top 5-6 job board nationally.
Yeah.
And starting this little bitty chatbot side project that has become what it has become. There's a lot of humble pie.
Yeah.
Humble pie needs to be eaten. A lot of looks in the mirror, and that's not easy to do.
No.
And he once commented in a meeting that, hey, if we're going to be disrupted, I want to be the one that's doing the disrupting.
Yeah.
Which is good advice for any organization. But he ate that dog food, and he disrupted his own job board business.
That's maturity.
Yeah.
That is, if anything matures you. I've failed. I've crashed and burned with products and shit like that.
Yep.
What I've learned out of that is immense. I mean, it is. And I feel like I've been a better person out of learning out of that.
Yep.
So, again, I think he has a superpower where most founders in this space, experience-wise, they do not.
Yeah. And knowing Aaron as I do, he's hating all this sunshine being blown up his ass. So
this is, hey, dude, I have been one of Aaron's biggest critics for years.
Yeah.
We have been on opposite sides of the fence, even from litigation standpoint at a company that I was with and at a company he was with, right?
Yep.
I'm not going to blow sunshine unless he deserves it, right?
Yeah. Okay. But he still hates it. I'm just telling you.
You on the other hand, you're a sunshine blower.
He hates it, and him thinking all his companies listening to this is driving him crazy. Okay,
Next.
well, we will take our noses out of Aaron's ass and get a word from our sponsors. Remember, kids, there is no show without sponsors. So listen to our ads and write blank checks to all the companies that are supporting the Chad Cheese Podcast.
Woo!
All right, we are back.
We are
Day 2
back.
Transform Conference at The Wynn in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's keep
Transform.
up with the topics. Swedish private equity investor EQT Partners has put up its hand for Melbourne, Australia-born human resources software business PageUp, where U.S. tech investor Battery Ventures wants to part with its 80% stake. Sources told Street Talk EQT Partners was among parties that tabled a non-binding indicative bid to sell-side advisor William Blair last month. British PE investor Permira is also understood to have shown interest, although it is unclear if it submitted an offer. The Sharks are out looking for deals, Chad. What's your take on the PageUp news?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about PageUp coming out publicly and saying, hey, we're ready to sell.
Yep.
We're ready to sell. I mean, that was amazing, right? You never hear that. Shit happens behind closed doors. Yep. And they said, hey, market, we want to sell. And, well, apparently they have takers.
Yep.
Apparently they have takers, which is awesome. Here's the cool thing. And again, this is all rumor. Maybe it's, who knows? Who knows, right?
This is the good stuff, everybody.
But a social post from Dan Finnegan. You might know this guy, Dan Finnegan. Actually says, speaking of the Beatles, off to Melbourne for a few days, and then Sydney, a day just so I can, what is that? Man, I need glasses.
Yeah, laugh at me, bitch.
Son of a bitch. There it is. Okay. For a day just so I can be back by the following Monday. So he's gone to Australia.
Yep.
In a whirlwind tour. Dan Finnegan. Now, who's Dan Finnegan, Joel?
Dan Finnegan is a mover and shaker CEO executive that cut his teeth at Hot Jobs Yahoo.
Yes.
Back in the early 2000s. He took JobBite over.
Yes.
Got them acquired.
Got
them a payday.
An applicant tracking system?
Applicant tracking system, yeah. And he helped oversee some acquisitions there, at least start the process.
Yes.
And now he's at a startup and probably knows a few money guys and called those money guys and said, hey, why don't we, go see what's up, see if there's an opportunity here.
Could be.
And our sources on the ground.
Yes. So
we're like TMZ now.
Yeah, rumors. Yeah, we're getting all this. We're getting all this stuff from all of our sources. Rumor, again, there's an opportunity here. Will Dan actually prospectively take the CEO position, knowing that PageUp's CEO more than likely wants to eject right now, or at least that's what we're hearing from sources? I don't know about that. He might be on the ground for due diligence because he is an ATS CEO and he has background in that. Or could he be coming in as an advisor, right? Due diligence, advisory, that kind of thing. No matter what, when you've got a guy with that kind of firepower making a whirlwind tour to Australia to be able to go through and again, this is speculation, might be coincidence, but that's fucking doubtful. What do you think?
Unless he's got a penchant that I have for bloomin' onions and a nice Foster's beer.
I am so sorry, Australians.
I'd say
I'm sorry.
Going to Australia and the time it takes to get there is not something that you would take lightly. So Dan right now is at Filtered, who's raised $10 million.
Uh-huh.
When he joined JobBite, they were nobody.
Yeah.
It was pretty shocking that someone that had been at Yahoo Hot Jobs would leave that to go to this little job by it was social media.
That's exciting.
Social media ATS was their pitch at the time. But Dan has these ways of joining small companies that you've never heard of, seeing promise, seeing a team that can make bigger things.
Yeah.
If they just add water, and maybe PageUp is the water that needs to be added to the company to make that happen. And Adam Gordon, our friend, my take was that they were 7-8 years into the Battery Ventures money, that it was the road, the clock had run out. It was time to the Battery Ventures wanted to get their money, that maybe they weren't doing as well. I think the ATS business is stressed. I think that it's tough right now to make a dollar. you normally are able to sell it on the down low where no one knows you're for sale, but to announce that we want to do this, that is like we're not getting enough buyers by the hush down low.
Yeah.
We need to get a big, put a bigger net out there. So I still don't believe that PageUp is crushing it. And I think they are motivated sellers. And Dan or whoever comes in will get a fine property. And if they can create efficiencies, build brand more globally or do something different, it could be the next Jobiqo for sure. The new company or PageUp becomes something else. So I thought this was awesome that we have people on the ground that see that, listen to the show, know who people are, and like, hey, you guys might want to know about Dan Finnegan being in Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, Australia is not a big enough market in itself from a growth standpoint for PE, right? You need to expand. They said they want to come to the U.S. Well, I have not seen them successfully coming to the U.S. Okay, so again, Dan Finnegan, network.
Yep.
I don't know. Just trying to put all the dots together, kids.
And by the way, he may know a few executives that want to get out of their current employer.
Yes. Again, network, man,
and build a team similar to what Aaron has done at Paradox. By the way, speaking of consolidation, knowing that Dan Finnegan and Aaron Matos are going to be on the hunt for new opportunities and acquisitions, it's going to be a fun time for the show.
It will be.
if that trend continues. Well, let's take another break.
Okay.
We'll come back and talk about our friends at Veritone.
Got it.
LinkUp is the leading provider of deep, accurate, and actionable labor market data. Unique in that we only get job listings from the one source of truth, the employer's website. By going to the source, we avoid all the duplicate and expired job listings that plague job boards and thereby other job data sets. Our data offers the clearest window into employers of all types and sizes throughout the world for an ever-growing number of use cases and applications.
Tony has done it again.
Feels
Chad.
good.
Jobiqo has relaunched the Job Network, touting itself as North America's largest recruitment ad network, powered by their AI-enabled job board platform and Veritone's programmatic ad distribution technology.
Hello.
Chad, there's a lot to unpack here. Your thoughts on the Veritone Jobiqo Job Network marriage?
Yeah, this is smart for both organizations easily. And first and foremost, Veritone, friend of the show, sponsor of the show, they've been fairly distressed lately, right? I mean, AI has taken a hit because of all the FANG companies doing AI, and I mean,
the stock's not going to the moon.
There's a ton of shit going on. Although, what does Veritone need? They need a bigger footprint, right?
Yeah.
Need a bigger boat. We've always talked about this, right? This footprint is amazing because they're talking about like 150 plus job boards in North America plus the EU, right? So you've got all these mainly DACH region, but at the end of the day, man, your footprint grows. The EU is not as advanced with regard to programmatic as the US is, although for the Jobiqo side of the house, now they're evolving. And we've said that if job boards want to stay alive, they have to evolve. Amazing. You automatically have this programmatic performance-based technology in your system, and you can offer it to every single hundreds, thousands of job board clients, right? Press the button.
Turnkey.
And then Jobiqo, I guarantee you, has a transactional cut that they take off of it. Amazing. So they get their SaaS play, they get their transactional play, and who's the big brother of this thing? Veritone's powering the whole fucking thing. So this, to me, again, is incredibly smart. Broadbean is in play, obviously, because of the acquisition of Veritone. So many moving parts. We've been talking really short term that, stock hasn't looked good. They have all the pieces to be able to make this work. And we've just been sitting back and saying, what the fuck are they going to do?
Yeah.
This is I think big.
It could be for sure, and we'll keep her on it.
Yeah.
The Job Network, and not to turn this into a nostalgic Aaron Matos edition
Tell me
of
a
the
story.
Chad and Cheese podcast.
Tell me a story.
But a guy named Scott Molitor started the Job Network way back in the day, out of Milwaukee. Built up these great domains that were all city focused, while Aaron was at jobbing in Arizona, getting all the state names and certainly a rush for those local states. So the job network for a long time was just this juggernaut of SEO goodness before Indeed came along and figured that out, where they kind of owned
Before Google
any city
changed the
jobs.
algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah, they just never kept up. Scott sold the company in 2016.
Yep.
Probably really good timing on his part.
Yes.
Because of the changes we've seen in the industry. But it has sort of been this dilapidated house just waiting for someone from the HGTV crew to show up.
Oh, yeah.
Put in some new drywall, fresh coat of paint, and really focus on what the business could be.
Yeah.
And I think Veritone sees that opportunity. You and I knew early on about the Pando Veritone, the Broadbean Veritone kind of connection, and I think we saw what it could be, but we thought, like you said, they need a bigger boat.
Yeah.
This is one of the few job board properties, networks, if you will, that they can plug and play, put our jobs through, share revenue. We've got instant traffic. Now we have a line to Europe, which I think is maybe the most interesting part of the story.
Oh, yeah.
They need to SEO it. They need to leverage every free option, social media, and the technology behind Veritone to create content, which I don't think they've even unlocked yet, to create content in video, to create content in multiple languages.
Oh, God.
If that opens up a whole new way to drive traffic to these sites, that becomes pretty interesting.
Well,
so our eye's going to be on this. We know that our relationship with them, they'll keep us in tune to what's going on.
Yeah.
But this is one of the few moves you can see in the job board space these days, outside of Stepstone buying Career Builder and Monster,
Not happening.
which I still contend
It's not
will
happening.
not happen until it does. This is definitely something to watch.
Well, and again, you talk about the SEO side of the house. So you've got Martin Lentz on the Jobiqo side of the house, right? They're going to be working that avenue, right? So that you've got one partner doing one. So this is a divide and conquer type of scenario.
Yep.
And I love that partnerships until you buy them, right? And that could happen, maybe not. I think at this point, working as two separate entities as partners that know their shit and they're incredibly focused and disciplined on their shit. I think it could be magic, and it could be magic for both of them, but mainly first off for Jobiqo, because all of these job board platforms that are out there are getting old and dusty.
Yep.
And I mean, there aren't a lot of really good up to date ones that are out there. Jobiqo it's top shelf. Will job boards start kicking over to their network and using this new tech instead, and bringing more to more views and clicks and applications?
I think job postings are just the start. I mean, I could see where there's a pre-screening tool driven by Veritone AI.
Yeah.
Interviews,
Wade and Wendy.
Obviously,
Wade
chat.
and Wendy.
Wade and Wendy.
Yeah.
Does chat come into play of, I don't have a resume. It's a warehouse job.
Yeah.
Chatbot's right there to take your resume as a chat and a conversation.
Answer some questions.
It's more mobile friendly.
Yeah.
So I think this is just starting with posting jobs and getting more exposure for those jobs.
Yeah.
I'm excited. This has been a fantastic show with a lot of optimism.
Good
of
stuff.
Companies doing really interesting things.
Look at you not being dystopian.
And we got to talk about Bloomin' Onions and Foster's and Australia. There's a blackjack table and a lunch buffet calling my name. Chad.
Not in that order.
This has been a hell of a week. Another episode in the can. We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper jack. Swiss. So many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!